What if the next culinary revolution wasn't happening here on Earth, but millions of miles away, in the vast emptiness of space? Picture this: astronauts floating through a space station, plucking fresh, vibrant vegetables from a zero-gravity garden, savoring flavors so rich and complex they rival anything grown on our planet. It might sound like science fiction, but galactic farming is quickly becoming a reality. And it's not just about feeding astronauts. This groundbreaking technology could transform how we grow food, not only in space but right here at home. But here's the real question: could space vegetables actually taste better than the ones we're used to? Today, we're diving into the fascinating science behind galactic farming, exploring the challenges of growing food in the harshest environment imaginable, and uncovering the tantalizing possibility that the future of flavor might just be out of this world. Get ready to rethink everything you know about agriculture, because this journey is about to take us from the soil to the stars. So, how exactly do you grow vegetables in an environment where there's no soil, no gravity, and no natural sunlight? The answer lies in the cutting-edge science of galactic farming. At its core, this isn't just about planting seeds and hoping for the best. It's about reimagining agriculture from the ground up, or rather from orbit. In space, traditional farming methods simply don't work. Instead, scientists rely on a combination of microgravity, controlled environments, and advanced hydroponic systems to create the perfect conditions for plants to thrive. Take microgravity, for example. On Earth, gravity pulls water and nutrients downward, but in space, water behaves differently. It forms floating blobs. To combat this, researchers use specially designed hydroponic systems that deliver water and nutrients directly to the plant roots, ensuring they get exactly what they need to grow. And then there's the challenge of light. Without the sun, plants rely on LED lighting systems that mimic natural sunlight, providing the perfect spectrum of light for photosynthesis. These lights aren't just functional, they're energy efficient and can be fine-tuned to optimize growth and even influence flavor. But it doesn't stop there. Air purification systems play a crucial role too, scrubbing carbon dioxide from the air and recycling oxygen to create a breathable environment for both astronauts and plants. It's a delicate balance, but one that's been perfected through groundbreaking experiments like NASA Veggie project, which successfully grew lettuce aboard the International Space Station. These initiatives aren't just about proving that plants can grow in space, they're about pushing the boundaries of what's possible, unlocking new ways to sustain life far from Earth. And here's where it gets really exciting. These innovations aren't just keeping astronauts fed, they're opening the door to a whole new world of flavors. By controlling every aspect of a plant's environment, from light to nutrients to air quality, scientists are discovering that space-grown vegetables might not just survive, they could thrive in ways we've never imagined. Could the unique conditions of space actually enhance the taste of these crops? The answer might just surprise you. Now, let's tackle the big question. Could space vegetables actually taste better than their Earth-grown counterparts? It might sound far-fetched, but there's a compelling case to be made. The unique conditions of space microgravity, controlled atmospheres, and even the stress of being in such an alien environment could actually lead to vegetables that are more flavorful, nutrient-dense, and downright delicious. Here's how it works. On Earth, plants are constantly battling gravity, which affects how they grow and how they distribute nutrients. In microgravity, that struggle disappears. Without gravity pulling water and nutrients downward, plants can focus their energy on growth and producing compounds that enhance flavor. Studies suggest that this shift in energy allocation could lead to higher concentrations of sugars, antioxidants, and other flavor-enhancing molecules. Imagine a tomato that's sweeter, a lettuce leaf that's crisper, or a carrot that's packed with more of that earthy, satisfying taste we love. But it's not just about microgravity. The controlled environments of space farming play a huge role too. On Earth, plants are at the mercy of unpredictable weather, pests, and soil quality. In space, every variable is meticulously managed. Light, temperature, humidity, and even the air composition are all fine-tuned to create the perfect growing conditions. This level of control allows scientists to optimize not just growth but flavor. For example, by adjusting the spectrum of LED lights, researchers can influence the production of certain compounds like anthocyanins, which give fruits and vegetables their vibrant colors and rich flavors. And then there's the stress factor. Yes, stress. It turns out that plants, like humans, respond to stress by producing protective compounds. In space, the harsh environment, radiation, limited resources, and the absence of natural sunlight could trigger plants to produce more of these compounds, many of which happen to be flavorful and nutritious. Think of it like a plant's survival mechanism. Under pressure, it ramps up production of antioxidants, essential oils, and other compounds that not only protect it but also make it taste better. Of course, growing food in space isn't without its challenges. The very factors that might enhance flavor, like microgravity and controlled environments, also present hurdles. For instance, how do you ensure consistent water delivery to plant roots when water floats in blobs? How do you simulate natural sunlight without wasting precious energy? These are the kinds of questions scientists are tackling as they refine the art of galactic farming. But here's the exciting part. Every challenge they overcome brings us closer to a future where space-grown vegetables aren't just a novelty, they're a culinary revelation. So, could space vegetables taste better? The evidence suggests it's not just possible, it's probable. But the real question is, what does that mean for the future of food, both in space and here on Earth? As we push the boundaries of agriculture, we're not just growing plants, we're growing possibilities. And those possibilities might just change the way we think about flavor forever. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. While the idea of space-grown vegetables bursting with flavor sounds incredible, the road to galactic farming is paved with challenges, some of which might seem insurmountable. Growing food in space isn't just about replicating Earth's conditions. It's about solving problems we've never faced before. From limited resources to the harsh realities of space itself, every step forward requires innovation, creativity, and a whole lot of trial and error. Take water, for example. On Earth, water is abundant, but in space, every drop is precious. Astronauts rely on recycled water, which means the systems used to grow plants must be incredibly efficient. Hydroponic systems, which deliver water and nutrients directly to plant roots, are a game changer here. But even then, there's the challenge of managing water in microgravity. Without gravity to guide it, water forms floating blobs that can be tricky to control. Scientists have developed specialized systems to ensure plants get just the right amount of water without wasting a single drop. It's a delicate dance, but one that's essential for sustainable space farming. Then there's the issue of nutrients. On Earth, plants draw nutrients from the soil, but in space there's no soil to speak of. Instead, scientists use nutrient-rich solutions in hydroponic systems, carefully calibrated to provide everything plants need to grow. But here's the catch: those nutrients aren't infinite. In a closed environment like a space station, recycling is key. Researchers are exploring ways to extract nutrients from waste products, creating a closed-loop system where nothing goes to waste. It's a bit like turning trash into treasure, except the treasure is a thriving space garden. And let's not forget about pollination. On Earth, bees, butterflies, and other pollinators play a crucial role in helping plants reproduce. But in space, there are no bees buzzing around. So how do plants pollinate? Scientists are experimenting with everything from hand pollination to robotic pollinators. But the real breakthrough might come from developing self-pollinating plant varieties. Imagine crops that don't need outside help to reproduce. Plants that are as self-sufficient as the astronauts who tend them. Of course, one of the biggest challenges of all is radiation. Space is a harsh environment, bombarded with cosmic rays and solar radiation that can damage both plants and humans. To protect crops, scientists are working on developing radiation-resistant plant varieties. These resilient plants aren't just tough, they're also packed with antioxidants and other protective compounds, which could make them even more nutritious and flavorful. It's a silver lining to a daunting problem, and one that could have huge implications for both space farming and agriculture here on Earth. But here's the thing, every challenge scientists face in galactic farming isn't just a hurdle, it's an opportunity. Overcoming these obstacles isn't just about feeding astronauts, it's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And as we solve these problems, we're not just growing food, we're unlocking new possibilities for flavor, nutrition, and sustainability. The lessons we learn in space could revolutionize how we grow food on Earth, helping us tackle issues like water scarcity, climate change, and food security. So, what does all this mean for the future of galactic farming? It means that every challenge we overcome brings us closer to a world where space-grown vegetables aren't just a novelty, they're a necessity. And as we continue to innovate, who knows, the next great culinary breakthrough might not come from a farm or a lab, it might come from the stars. Now, let's talk about the unsung heroes of galactic farming, the plants themselves. But these aren't your average vegetables. They're the result of cutting-edge genetic engineering and selective breeding, designed to thrive in the most extreme conditions imaginable. Think of them as the ultimate space explorers, equipped with traits that allow them to survive and even flourish in environments that would leave most plants struggling. So, how exactly are scientists turning ordinary crops into cosmic superplants? And what does this mean for the future of farming, both in space and here on Earth? First, let's tackle the challenge of microgravity. On Earth, plants rely on gravity to guide their growth, sending roots downward and shoots upward. But in space, that natural guidance system is gone. To adapt, scientists are engineering plants with altered root structures and growth patterns, allowing them to navigate the weightless environment more effectively. These modifications aren't just about survival, they're about optimizing growth so that plants can make the most of limited resources like water and nutrients. Imagine a lettuce plant that grows perfectly symmetrical leaves in zero gravity, or a tomato vine that doesn't need stakes to stay upright. It's not just science fiction, it's the future of space farming. Then there's the issue of radiation. Space is a harsh environment, bombarded with cosmic rays that can damage plant DNA and stunt growth. To combat this, researchers are developing radiation-resistant crops by identifying and enhancing genes that help plants repair DNA damage. These resilient plants aren't just tough, they're also packed with antioxidants and other protective compounds, which could make them even more nutritious and flavorful. It's a win-win, plants that can withstand the rigors of space while delivering a nutritional punch. But genetic engineering isn't just about survival, it's also about flavor. Scientists are exploring ways to tailor plants to produce specific tastes and textures, creating crops that are not only hardy but also delicious. By tweaking genes responsible for sugar production, for example, researchers could create sweeter strawberries or more flavorful tomatoes. They're even experimenting with plants that produce unique compounds, like essential oils or aromatic molecules, to enhance their sensory appeal. Imagine biting into a space-grown pepper that's spicier, juicier, and more vibrant than anything you've ever tasted. The possibilities are endless, and here's the kicker: these advancements aren't just for astronauts. The same genetic modifications that make plants thrive in space could revolutionize agriculture here on Earth. Crops engineered to resist radiation could help farmers in regions affected by nuclear accidents or high-altitude radiation. Plants optimized for nutrient uptake could grow in poor soils, reducing the need for fertilizers. And crops tailored for flavor could transform the way we think about food, making healthy, delicious produce more accessible to everyone. So, what does this mean for the future of farming? It means that the lessons we're learning in space could have a profound impact on how we grow food on Earth. By pushing the boundaries of what's possible, we're not just feeding astronauts, we're paving the way for a more sustainable, flavorful, and resilient food system. And who knows, the next time you bite into a perfectly ripe tomato or a crisp head of lettuce, it might just have a little piece of the cosmos in it. But what if the taste of space-grown vegetables isn't just about the plants themselves? What if it's also about how we experience them? After all, taste isn't just about what's on your tongue. It's a complex interplay of senses, emotions, and environment. And in space, that environment is unlike anything we've ever known. So, how does microgravity, isolation, and the sheer novelty of eating fresh food in orbit shape the way astronauts perceive flavor? Let's dive into the fascinating psychology of taste and uncover how the unique conditions of space might just make every bite more memorable. First, let's talk about the science. On Earth, gravity plays a subtle but significant role in how we experience taste. It affects how fluids move in our bodies, including the mucus in our nasal passages, which is crucial for our sense of smell. And smell, as you might know, is responsible for a huge part of what we perceive as flavor. In microgravity, that mucus doesn't drain the way it does on Earth, leading to a condition astronauts often call space congestion. This congestion can dull the sense of smell, which in turn can make food taste blander. Imagine eating your favorite meal, but it's missing that punch of aroma. It just doesn't hit the same. That's the reality many astronauts face, but here's where it gets interesting. While microgravity might dull some senses, it heightens others. Research has shown that astronauts often report changes in their perception of taste, with some foods tasting stronger or more intense than they do on Earth. Spicy foods, for example, seem to pack more of a kick, while sweet and salty flavors can become more pronounced. Scientists believe this shift might be due to changes in fluid distribution in the body, which can affect how taste receptors function. So, while space congestion might mute some flavors, it could amplify others, creating a whole new sensory experience. And then there's the psychological factor. Eating isn't just about nourishment, it's a deeply emotional experience. In the isolation of space, where every day is a battle against monotony and homesickness, fresh, homegrown food isn't just a meal, it's a connection to Earth. Imagine the joy of biting into a crisp lettuce leaf or a juicy tomato, knowing it was grown right there on the space station. That emotional boost can enhance the perception of flavor, making every bite taste richer, more satisfying, and more meaningful. It's not just food, it's comfort, it's familiarity, it's a taste of home. This psychological impact goes even deeper when you consider the role of novelty. In space, every experience is heightened by the sheer uniqueness of the environment. Eating fresh vegetables grown in zero gravity isn't just a meal, it's an event. The novelty of the experience can amplify the senses, making flavors seem more vibrant and memorable. It's like the first time you tasted something truly extraordinary. The memory stays with you, not just because of the taste, but because of the context. In space, every meal has the potential to be that kind of unforgettable experience. So, what does all this mean for the future of space cuisine? If we can harness the psychological and sensory effects of space, we could create meals that aren't just nutritious, but deeply satisfying on an emotional level. Imagine a future where space travelers enjoy dishes tailored to their unique sensory experiences, with flavors that are enhanced by the very environment they're in. It's not just about feeding the body, it's about nourishing the soul. And here's the kicker: the lessons we learn from space could transform how we think about food here on Earth. By understanding how environment shapes taste, we could create dining experiences that are more immersive, more memorable, and more meaningful. Whether it's a meal in orbit or a dinner on your patio, the psychology of taste reminds us that flavor isn't just about what's on the plate, it's about the story behind it. And in space, that story is out of this world. Now, let's take a closer look at the real-world successes that have brought galactic farming from theory to reality. Over the past decade, groundbreaking experiments have proven that growing food in space isn't just possible, it's thriving. One of the most iconic examples is NASA Veggie project, a mission that has redefined what we thought was achievable in extraterrestrial agriculture. The Veggie project began with a simple yet ambitious goal: to grow fresh produce aboard the International Space Station. In 2015, astronauts successfully harvested the first ever space-grown lettuce, marking a monumental milestone in space exploration. But this wasn't just any lettuce, it was a vibrant, leafy green that had been cultivated in a microgravity environment using a specially designed plant growth system. The results were astounding. Not only did the lettuce grow, but it also passed rigorous safety tests, proving it was safe for astronauts to eat. And when they finally took that first bite, the reviews were glowing. Astronauts described the lettuce as crisp, fresh, and surprisingly flavorful, a welcome change from the pre-packaged meals they typically relied on. But the Veggie project didn't stop at lettuce. In 2016, astronauts grew zinnias, colorful flowering plants that served as a test case for more complex crops. While zinnias aren't edible, their successful growth was a critical step forward. These flowers required more care and attention than lettuce, and their success demonstrated that even delicate plants could thrive in space. The zinnias also provided valuable insights into how plants respond to stress in microgravity, helping scientists refine their techniques for future crops. And then there's the taste test. Astronauts who have sampled space-grown produce often describe it as a transformative experience. For many, the act of eating fresh food in orbit isn't just about nutrition. It's a psychological boost, a reminder of home in the vast emptiness of space. One astronaut even compared the flavor of space-grown lettuce to arugula, noting its peppery, slightly bitter taste. Others have remarked on the texture, describing it as crisp and satisfying, a stark contrast to the dehydrated or vacuum-sealed meals they typically consume. These first-hand accounts aren't just anecdotal, they're proof that space-grown food can be more than just sustenance. It can be a source of joy, comfort, and connection. So, what do these successes mean for the future of galactic farming? They're more than just milestones, they're stepping stones. Each experiment, each harvest, brings us closer to a future where growing food in space is not just a novelty, but a necessity. The lessons learned from the Veggie project are already shaping the next generation of space agriculture, paving the way for larger-scale farming operations that could sustain long-term missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. Imagine a future where astronauts tend to sprawling space gardens, harvesting fresh fruits, vegetables, and herbs to supplement their diets. Picture colonies on Mars where self-sustaining farms provide not just food, but a sense of normalcy and connection to Earth. These aren't just dreams, they're possibilities, grounded in the real-world successes of projects like Veggie. And as we continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, one thing is clear: the future of farming isn't just on Earth. It's out there among the stars, but what does it take to scale up these successes? How do we go from growing a few heads of lettuce to cultivating entire crops in space? That's where the next chapter of galactic farming begins, and it's a story of innovation, collaboration, and the relentless pursuit of progress. So, what does the future hold for galactic farming? If growing lettuce on the International Space Station is just the beginning, where do we go from here? The answer lies in scaling up, transforming small-scale experiments into large-scale systems capable of sustaining not just a handful of astronauts, but entire colonies on the Moon, Mars, and beyond. This isn't just about growing a few vegetables, it's about creating self-sustaining ecosystems that can support human life in the most inhospitable environments imaginable. And the key to making this vision a reality: vertical farms and bioregenerative life support systems. Let's start with vertical farming. On Earth, vertical farms are already revolutionizing agriculture by stacking crops in layers, maximizing space and efficiency. But in space, this concept takes on a whole new meaning. Imagine towering structures filled with rows of lush green plants, their roots bathed in nutrient-rich water under the glow of LED lights. These farms wouldn't just save space, they'd be designed to thrive in the unique conditions of space, from microgravity to limited resources. By stacking crops vertically, we could grow more food in a smaller footprint, a critical advantage when every square inch of a space station or colony is precious. And because these farms are enclosed, they'd be protected from the harsh radiation and extreme temperatures of space, creating a safe haven for plants to flourish. But vertical farming is just one piece of the puzzle. To truly sustain life in space, we need systems that go beyond food production. We need bioregenerative life support systems. These systems are like miniature ecosystems where plants, microbes, and humans work together in a closed loop. Plants produce oxygen and absorb carbon dioxide, while microbes break down waste into nutrients that feed the plants. It's a self-sustaining cycle that mimics the natural processes of Earth, but on a much smaller scale, and the benefits are enormous. Not only would these systems provide a steady supply of fresh food, but they'd also generate oxygen, purify water, and recycle waste, reducing the need for resupply missions from Earth. It's the ultimate in sustainability, and it could be the key to long-term survival in space. Now, let's talk about Mars. Establishing a colony on the Red Planet is one of humanity's most ambitious goals, but it comes with a host of challenges. Mars has a thin atmosphere, freezing temperatures, and no liquid water on its surface. Growing food there might seem impossible, but galactic farming could make it a reality. Imagine domed greenhouses dotting the Martian landscape, filled with crops grown in Martian soil enriched with nutrients. These greenhouses would be equipped with advanced life support systems, ensuring a steady supply of oxygen, water, and food for the colonists. And because Mars has lower gravity than Earth, plants might grow taller and faster, potentially yielding larger harvests. It's a vision that's equal parts science fiction and science fact, and it's closer than you might think. But the implications of galactic farming go far beyond Mars. As we push the boundaries of space exploration, we're not just growing food, we're growing possibilities. The technologies we develop for space could have profound impacts here on Earth, helping us tackle challenges like climate change, food security, and resource scarcity. Vertical farms and bioregenerative systems could revolutionize urban agriculture, bringing fresh produce to cities and reducing our reliance on traditional farming. And the lessons we learn about sustainability in space could inspire new ways of living more harmoniously with our planet. So, what does all this mean for humanity's future in the cosmos? It means that galactic farming isn't just about survival, it's about thriving. It's about creating a future where we can explore, settle, and flourish in the farthest reaches of space. And it's a reminder that the challenges we face, whether on Earth or among the stars, are opportunities to innovate, adapt, and grow. As we look to the future, one thing is clear: the seeds we plant today, both literally and figuratively, will shape the destiny of humanity for generations to come. And who knows, the next great chapter in our story might just be written among the stars. But what if the benefits of galactic farming didn't stop at the stars? What if the same innovations that are revolutionizing agriculture in space could also transform how we grow food here on Earth? It turns out, the challenges of farming in microgravity and harsh environments are pushing scientists to develop technologies that could solve some of our planet's most pressing problems, from food security to climate change. Let's explore how the lessons learned in space could lead to a greener, more sustainable future for agriculture on Earth. First, let's talk about hydroponics. In space, where soil is non-existent, hydroponic systems are the backbone of galactic farming. These systems deliver water and nutrients directly to plant roots, creating a highly efficient way to grow crops without the need for traditional soil. But here's the thing: hydroponics isn't just for space. On Earth, this technology is already being used to grow food in urban environments, deserts, and even abandoned warehouses. By adopting space-inspired hydroponic systems, we could grow fresh produce in places where traditional farming is impossible, bringing food closer to cities and reducing the environmental impact of transporting crops across long distances. Imagine a world where every city has its own vertical farm, producing fresh, local food year-round no matter the climate or season. Then there's vertical farming, a concept that's taking off both in space and on Earth. In space, vertical farms maximize limited space by stacking crops in layers, creating a compact, efficient way to grow food. But this approach isn't just useful in orbit, it's a game changer for urban agriculture. By stacking crops vertically, we can grow more food in smaller areas, reducing the need to clear forests or convert natural habitats into farmland. These farms can be built in skyscrapers, shipping containers, or even underground, making them ideal for densely populated cities. And because they're enclosed, they're protected from pests and extreme weather, reducing the need for pesticides and herbicides. It's a win-win for both farmers and the environment. But perhaps the most exciting benefit of galactic farming is its potential to address resource efficiency. In space, every drop of water and every ounce of nutrients is precious, forcing scientists to develop systems that recycle and reuse resources with incredible precision. These closed-loop systems could revolutionize agriculture on Earth, where water scarcity and nutrient runoff are major challenges. By adopting space-inspired recycling technologies, we could create farms that use less water, produce less waste, and operate more sustainably. Imagine a future where farms are not just places to grow food, but ecosystems that conserve resources and protect the planet. And let's not forget about flavor. The same controlled environments that allow scientists to optimize plant growth in space could also lead to tastier, more nutritious crops on Earth. By fine-tuning factors like light, temperature, and nutrients, we could create vegetables that are richer in flavor, higher in antioxidants, and packed with essential vitamins. These advancements could inspire new culinary trends, encouraging people to eat healthier, more diverse diets. Imagine a world where every bite of your salad is bursting with flavor, or where your favorite fruits are sweeter and juicier than ever before. It's not just about feeding the world, it's about making food more enjoyable and nutritious for everyone. So, what does all this mean for the future of agriculture? It means that the innovations born in the harsh environment of space could have a profound impact on how we grow, eat, and think about food here on Earth. From hydroponics to vertical farming to resource-efficient systems, galactic farming is paving the way for a more sustainable, resilient, and flavorful future. And as we continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, one thing is clear. The seeds we plant in space could yield a harvest that benefits us all, both among the stars and right here at home. The future of farming isn't just about feeding astronauts, it's about nourishing humanity, one innovation at a time. So what have we learned on this journey from soil to stars? Galactic farming isn't just a sci-fi dream, it's a groundbreaking reality that's reshaping how we think about food, flavor, and the future of agriculture. From the challenges of growing crops in microgravity to the tantalizing possibility that space vegetables might actually taste better, we've explored how the harshest environment imaginable could become a fertile ground for innovation. We've seen how cutting-edge technologies like hydroponics, vertical farming, and bioregenerative systems are not only keeping astronauts fed, but also opening the door to a new era of culinary possibilities. By controlling every aspect of a plant's environment, from light to nutrients to air quality, scientists are discovering that space-grown vegetables could be more flavorful, more nutritious, and even more satisfying than anything we've tasted on Earth. And let's not forget the psychological impact. In the isolation of space, fresh food isn't just a meal. It's a connection to home, a source of comfort, and a reminder of the planet we've left behind. But the implications of galactic farming go far beyond the dinner plate. This technology has the potential to revolutionize space exploration, making long-term missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond not just possible but sustainable. Imagine colonies on Mars with sprawling greenhouses, or lunar bases where fresh produce is grown in the shadow of Earth. These aren't just fantasies, they're the next steps in humanity's journey to the stars. And here on Earth, the lessons we're learning from space could transform how we grow food, addressing challenges like climate change, water scarcity, and food security. Vertical farms, hydroponic systems, and resource-efficient technologies could bring fresh produce to urban centers, reduce our reliance on traditional farming, and create a more sustainable future for agriculture. The innovations born in space could yield a harvest that benefits us all, both among the stars and right here at home. So, as we wrap up this exploration of galactic farming, let's leave you with one final thought. Could the future of farming lie among the stars? Could the next great culinary revolution come not from a farm or a lab, but from the vast emptiness of space? The possibilities are as endless as the cosmos itself. What do you think? Could space-grown vegetables be the key to a tastier, more sustainable future? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your ideas. And if you're as excited about the future of technology as we are, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. There's so much more to explore, and we're just getting started. Until next time, keep dreaming big because the future is closer than you think.